Metalworkers Union NUMSA in the Northern Cape has accused Ekapa Diamond Mine Management of undermining workers' rights to strike. This comes after Ekapa Mine Management approached the Labour Court in an attempt to interdict the workers' 7-week strike. NUMSA is demanding a salary increase of 8%, while the mine has tabled a 6.5% wage increase. SABC Journalist Thabiso Radebe spoke to NUMSA's regional organiser, Tshepo Mokhele.
We are outside Ekapa Mine here in Kimberley, where workers have been on strike for the past 7 weeks. They are demanding a wage increase of 8%. These workers, as you can see, I'm just going to ask my colleague, Ditshwanelo Masia, to pen to the workers. They are saying that they are not going back to work until their demands are met. We were here about 7 weeks ago where workers were singing, clashing with police, saying that they will not return to work until the company has come to the table and negotiate with them. But I'm going to be speaking with a representative from NUMSA here, Tshepo Mokhele, who's going to be telling us about the way forward. Now, Dr. Mokhele, thank you for your time. Just tell us about this particular strike. You're saying that workers are not going back to work until their demands are met.
Yes, that's correct. Workers are not going to go back to work up until such time the employer changes his attitude on the table, up until such time the employer is prepared to engage with the union. We are the majority union here at Ekapa Mine. We are the only bargaining agent for the workers. Therefore, the employer must come to the table. This strike will go indefinite up until such time the employer decides otherwise to engage with the union constructively and openly so.
Let's talk about engagement, Dr. Mokhele. Demands. What are your demands in terms of percentages and those salary increases?
Workers are demanding a basic entry-level salary of 13,800. As the employer has alluded in various discussions that the basic entry level is 13,800. But the reality of the matter is that the employer is not paying them the 13,800. That is the first demand. The second demand is that we want a 1-year agreement as per our collective agreement, and workers also want a back date because the increase should have been effected on the 1st of March. Now, these are some of the demands, and an increase of 8% across the board. These are some of the demands that the workers have put on the table. The employer is offering a lousy 6.5%. What is 6.5% of a person who receives a monthly salary of 5,700 rand? It's next to nothing.
Earlier on, you were also complaining about some workers being given food parcels. What can you tell us about food parcels?
This is so bad. This is so bad that the employer, when workers started to resume strike, they already have worked for a number of days, which they should have received a payment for those days that they've worked for. The employer withhold their salaries deliberately so, and further give them food parcels. Since Monday, the employer is giving them food parcels with a false hope that workers will go back to work. It's their strategy. Therefore, the food parcels have been delivered to these employees' houses. Let me show you. This is one of the food parcels that workers are getting from the employer. Instead of paying workers their monies, the employer is giving them the food parcels. What should they do with these food parcels?
Dr. Mokhele, you also approached the CCMA in terms of mediating.
Yes, that's correct. We approached the CCMA for a facilitation process. We had one meeting at the CCMA, but that process has collapsed because the employer is not prepared to come to the table. So that process of the CCMA in terms of Section 150 has collapsed. That's where it ends.
Thank you, Dr. Mokhele. It's a blame game here between the management of Ekapa and also the union. We will be speaking with the management later on just to hear their side of the story in terms of engagements, in terms of negotiations as far as this strike is concerned. But as for workers, they are saying that 8%, they only want 8%, otherwise they are not going back to work. They are not backing down on their strike. We're talking about over 600 workers who have been on strike for the past 7 months.